Well, everybody, Alan here. I am just so excited today to have an opportunity to interview a missionary that we at Praise have had scheduled to be able to share with us this coming Wednesday, September the 2nd. And unfortunately, with some of the different things that are happening and even our own local quarantine here with the staff, we were unable to relaunch those Wednesday night ministries quite yet. And so as part of that, we just decided that we were going to take this show on the road and interview and hear a little bit about the ministry that the Michaels are doing. So today I am going to introduce you to Adrian Michael, who is a missionary who has been working in the Caribbean with his wife, Hayleigh, and have recently had a shift in ministry. And as they're focused in education now in that same area of the world of how God is moving in their lives, I'll let them share a little bit about it. But as we, as a church, continue to press more and more into equipping, enabling, strengthening, supporting missionaries in their work, we just want to see how God might use us to participate in what the Michaels are doing. And so without any further ado, let me introduce to you the one, the only Adrian Michael. Hello, sir.
Hey, how's it going, Pastor? Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's really special for us. I mean, if it wasn't for sending churches like Praise Assembly, I mean, I would just be a guy in my house, in my room with a call, but no way to access that call. So with your support and you've allowed me to just thrive in my ministry. And I have I went to the mission field in 2015. Went to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and Newport Mesa Church was our sending church, and got to Haiti and promised to just through obedience give my life to God, and that included my marriage, finding a wife. So I went as a single guy, and I said, if I have to be here 10, 15 years, and I'll do that. And within a couple of months, I met my wife. I met Hayleigh, and then about 6 months later, we got married in Haiti. And about a year, 2016, we got married. 2017, we had Brooklyn in Haiti, and then we had Evelyn in 2019, and then just recently we had our third child, Adrian. And so the Lord has definitely not only blessed our ministry, but shown his love through us. And if I never do ministry again, being a father to these 3 kids, 3 little ones, is the greatest ministry I could ever have. And it's just amazing how God works. He took a kid from Southern California and a girl from England. That's where my wife was born and raised, and brought us to Port-au-Prince, Haiti. And there we had a youth ministry program. She taught 2nd grade. I taught 7th and 8th Bible, and the Lord just really put a burden on our heart for education, leadership training, and now we have the opportunity to do that with the Caribbean School of Theology. So seeing that there was a lot of students, a lot of Haitians that left Haiti, kind of through this diaspora across the Caribbean, we made it our goal to reach those Haitians, and it's been our goal to be a blessing to be able to partner with the Caribbean School of Theology, where we can now reach those Haitians in 7 different countries in the Caribbean, providing them with leadership, face-to-face education, interaction. So we travel to different countries. We also but it's been a huge blessing for us to be able to partner with the Caribbean School of Theology, and we're excited. So we're headquartered here in Springfield, and make our getting ready to hopefully January 2021. In January we'll be working on the field. So okay. We're excited.
Yeah, so you have some connections with, of course, we have people who have longtime members of Praise, who ministered in Haiti for years. And I have in my head that the Hittenbergers, Ron and Carolyn Hittenberger. Is Is
Yes.
that accurate?
Yes. Yes. So they've mentored us. When we were in Haiti, they visited us in Haiti, and they were missionaries there for 25 years. And then from there they went. He became. I'm pretty sure he became the dean of students at the Caribbean School of Theology. So how I tell people is I'm just following his footsteps, and I never even really knew that until actually I met until we started talking a little bit more, and he says, "Yeah, I was at the Caribbean School of Theology as well," and I think that's where he finished out his ministry. But yeah, both of them great people. We love them. We love their family, and yeah, just to be blessed to be part of Praise Them, and that's how we got connected with you guys is through them.
Yeah. And then also, if it's Newport Mesa Church, that would be Jordan Hanson is the pastor
Yes.
there, right? Okay.
Yes, Jordan Hanson. So he was part of the team that supported me as I was going on my first mission trip just for a week. So I've never brought my mom to church to Newport Mesa because I went to Vanguard and she went to another church in Lake Forest. And so one day I invited her to come to church, and they were having a missions trip. So they had one of the leaders up there, and she says, "Oh, we should go." And we both went with my sister in February 2015, and they were a big Newport Mesa was a big church support in getting us there.
Well, very cool.
And then
Very cool. So I hear you have new little one. I think you just mentioned, and I mean, you mentioned just how old is the newest?
Oh, the new one is 3 weeks old.
So
yeah,
3 weeks old.
3 weeks old. So I mean, I think I've gotten like in the past week, like 6 hours of sleep in the past week.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is, for you, it sounds like, of course, you're balancing a lot of different things, and you're balancing family and making sure that you are pastoring, leading your home. And then also you are balancing ministering at a Caribbean School of Theology. But then also there's, with missionaries, this other side of it, which is itinerating. And for those who've been a part of a church for, a length of time, in the Assemblies in particular, they should be somewhat familiar with that process. But itineration, is that something that where are you guys in relation to that? Like, are you focused fully on that at this point? Or are you on a balance where you're constantly itinerating while also constantly working? What does that look like for you?
So right now we have the opportunity, since we are stateside, to be, we've been blessed to be able to be with the Caribbean School of Theology, and they've really welcomed us and allowed us to minister. But our sole responsibility is to itinerate. So we're at 88% going into COVID-19. So that was in like February. We're about 88%. So I had everything set up to go back to California to finish our itineration season, but due to COVID, we were kind of stuck here in Springfield. Not in a negative way, but in a, we were kind of had to become stable here. And so it just kind of shifted a little bit. So we've been ministering with the Caribbean School of Theology, as well as trying to fill in our time to itinerate. So we're at about 90% now. So we're just trying to finish off that last 10%. And I think we could do it. Now that some churches are opening up, there's a little bit more opportunities via Zoom. And so I think I'm pretty hopeful by December 2020 we will be fully funded and be ready to start a ministry in January, full time in January. So that's the goal. So we have I'm looking about 3 months to really make that happen, and it's Lord.
So are you actually a Southern Missouri or are you California?
Yes.
Missionary?
Yes.
Is that where? Okay.
Yep. So we're Southern California missionaries, and but we're here in Missouri.
Okay. Well, very cool. So as you're looking towards even this next coming term, once you've finished up your itineration, what specifically do you see yourselves stepping into, or what are some of the specific goals that you guys are pressing for in this next missions term?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now, so once we're fully funded and we're working in at the Caribbean School of Theology, we do have 5 things that we're really excited about and really looking to implement and execute. One of them is being we're trying to develop a solid online presence with our schools. So we have, like I said, we have 7 schools in the Caribbean, and 7 countries that we're working on in the Caribbean, and one of them is face-to-face discipleship. So we want to really build that so that we're in country with them, because we believe that's the greatest thing that we can possibly offer is to be there and disciple them and spend time with these 7 schools. So each of these countries that we're at the Caribbean, there is no AG missionaries. So we are the only missionaries. So we're the ones that bring the teams in. We're the ones that bring resources. We're the ones that connect with the superintendent. So what we're really trying to do is develop a strong relationship, since there is no missionary in these different countries. Second, we want to really focus on training leaders. So we have like the Caribbean School of Theology has a mantra which we're constantly trying to connect with our students, build relationships with serving them. So we want to make sure we're empowering God's people, and then we're also trying to train them. So we want to teach them how to teach. So we're really focusing on leadership training and reaching beyond the AG, because the Caribbean School of Theology in some of these countries is the only university in these countries. So like, for instance, like in Jamaica and Bahamas, we are for secular students will come to our school just to receive to get a degree. So we're really trying to go beyond and really reach those for Christ and develop strong leadership. And then we also wanted, the third one is building an electronic library. And that's been our huge goal. So we were able to make a deal with Lagos, and for about $1,500, we can, for each one of our classes, we offer 12 classes throughout the year, and if not more. And so each class can access that library, and all of our students will be able to have access to Logos, which is the Bible software that it has thousands and thousands of resources. So we're really trying to make sure that we really want to emphasize and provide this resource to them. But it does cost money, and we will be working on that to get that for all of our students, so they'll have access to that resource. Fourth, we want to make sure we develop our teachers. So all of our teachers that teach in the Caribbean School of Theology are all at master level, but we want to make sure that we're constantly teaching and training and developing our teachers. We have a lot of adjunct professors, but making sure that we're all, that they're duly certified and receiving the support that they need in order to be efficient and effective professors to these students in the Caribbean. And lastly, this gets me excited. I know maybe not for a lot of people, but we really, I'm really big in academic journals. And I believe that academic journals is a way that we can provide a voice for the Pentecostal community in the Caribbean, since there is no academic journals. So a lot of the needs, especially in Haiti, that we see surfacing, it's not, they don't have, I believe their voice is minimalized just because they have no, they don't have a strong platform. So we really want to make sure that we have a voice for the Caribbean Pentecostals through the academic journals, and that can address their current issues in their world today. So those are 5 goals that get me excited and really want me to make a presence and an impact in those nations.
Yeah. So you mentioned January 2021, and that there was, I think this was during this interview, or it might have been a previous conversation, but January 2021 as kind of a point where there's going to be some specific ministry that you're going to be doing. And I have it in my head connected with Haiti specifically. Is that accurate? Do I have that correct?
We will be, so 2021, we will be teaching full time. I will be one of the academic professors there with the Caribbean School of Theology. So although Haiti is our love and where we would naturally tend to want to go, we will be spread throughout the 7 different countries, teaching in these 7 different countries, not specifically Haiti.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
as you're doing that, primarily you're doing a lot of the teaching. You're also, it sounds like there's some logistics side of it with
yes,
a lot of these other aspects to it of making sure that you're equipping and providing tools as well.
yes.
Um, and how much of that is all you, and how, who else is a part of and working with you with the Caribbean School of
Yeah,
Theology?
that's a great question. Yeah, we have a team of five right now. There's about five, six individuals that and ministers that make up our board. At the Caribbean School of Theology, we have a president, Terry Castleberry. We have a dean of students. We have our registrar. We have a resource manager, and then we have a team of faculty that adjunct professors that make up this team. But the core five are primarily in making major decisions, developing logistics, and so that I will be part of that team. So what I've just mentioned, our goals, I will be actively working to make sure that each one of these five things will be implemented, and if not, at least developed. So this is what we're looking at for the next 5 years. So we're hoping that with enough support and resources, and that we'll be able to accomplish each of these five in the next 5 years.
Well, very cool.
So,
Very cool. As I've kind of had our conversation previous to the interview, and then also
yes,
through this interview, I feel like I have a well-rounded kind of understanding of the ministry that you guys have been a part of, are a part of, and what you're stepping into. Is there anything that you feel like we've missed, or anything that people of praise would be important for them to know about the Michaels or the Caribbean School of Theology?
yeah, I think one of the things that I would say is probably important for us to like walk away from this is it's just a quick timeline. So I was in Haiti for 3 years, and that's where the Lord called me at Newport Mesa Church in a prayer room. Was called to Haiti to teach, put a burden on our hearts. And my wife was also in Haiti at the time, and then we just felt together we can do more for the kingdom. So so then we started praying and asking the Lord to see where He would. Where he wanted us to be. And then he called us to the Caribbean School of Theology, which now gave us access to more Haitians throughout the Caribbean, different countries. And then now what we're doing is with the Caribbean School of Theology is we're really trying to make that connection with the Haitians and the people in the Caribbean in a way that we really want to focus on leadership as well, in response to all, or in addition to the five things that I just mentioned. We believe that leadership is one of the most important things, especially for the Caribbean, because we feel like we believe that we're making those connections. So we have Convoy of Hope that's there. We have Builders International that's there. We have Latin American Library Services. We have Child Hope. So we're reaching out to the orphanages. We're reaching out to human trafficking. People are making, all these ministries are making huge impacts there. But then the challenge is that they leave. They're there for a week, they're there for 2 weeks, and they leave. So if there's and then they look to their pastors and their leaders to continue, because they may have had a radical conversion, this 6-year-old meeting Christ, but no one to disciple them after Convoy leaves, after Builders leaves, after an AG missionary like myself leaves, who will carry that. So we really felt it was important to train our indigenous leaders there, and through the Caribbean School of Theology, to make sure that they're going to be the ones that are going to carry on that ministry and disciple those children and people.
So good. So good. And I, in the midst of that, then the Lord does bring up and raise up new leaders in the national church to really take things forward in ways that maybe even missionaries from the U.S. might be less able to do that. And it seems like God's really doing that in a larger, as you look at it globally, it seems like that's happening in a lot of places around the world. And so that's obviously the goal that is to be set. And so it's an awesome thing to see you being a part of that, and how God is going to use you all in that. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today and for sharing a little bit about what God's doing and how he's using you all and kind of where you see this moving forward. And so I'm thankful for you taking the time, and we'll look forward to introducing you to the church at some point in person. For now, it'll just have to be digital, but thank you for doing that. Pass on our best to your family, and also to the ministry as well. But we'll be praying and trusting the Lord to lead us, and for those who are members of Praise as well. If somebody at Praise were interested in supporting you, would that be something that they could just put your name on that? What does that look like for you all? Do you have some information that we might be able to get to them?
Yeah, absolutely. Just briefly, if you go, we're on Facebook, Michael's on a Mission. We're on Instagram, Michael's on a Mission. And if you go right into Assemblies of God World Missions, type in their website, just go Assemblies of God World Missions. We are under Adrian and Hayleigh Michael. And then, or you can just give us a call as well. Email us, ahmichael417@gmail.com. And then you can reach us there as well.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to trust the Lord to continue to bless you all and keep you all and just provide for you as you continue to step out in ministry. Thank you for taking the time, and we're looking forward to connecting even further with you in the future. God bless, sir.
Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you, Praise Assembly. God bless.